it's not about it standing the test of time. It's about believing that God has your best intentions at heart.
I'm just like, I don't know if I've got time to be teaching a man how to be a father and to also be a mother to a baby at the same time.
Because sometimes I dated girls and I was like, you ain't me about that. There's no point. No point.
There's no such thing as provide anymore, because women work as well now.
Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, damn me to the zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. Be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick.
How was your holiday?
Full on, boy. A full on experience. I've never been to Crete before. So in that sense, it was very, very good. Warm. Very warm. It was nice to actually have summer heat hitting, which is odd because I obviously went to Fuerteventura just before that, and that's also hot, but because that's so busy, you don't really take stock of the heat. It's a little bit colder, one, and two, it's very busy, so you don't really take stock of just the heat, but this was just chilling, pool vibes, sea vibes, hot. Yeah, it was nice, man. It was very nice.
Are we gonna?
How was your week? Whilst I was, because I saw that apparently there was heat.
I can't remember.
Nah, what I did was.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think we're getting much of a summer in the UK this year. I think we'll probably get a few heat waves and that's it. Because people are still wearing coats.
50 days of rain, they said, they promised.
Yeah, people are still wearing coats in June.
Yeah, it's mad. I touched down in my shorts. We got out. Yeah, I know. You couldn't wear more than shorts there, though. I didn't even pack trousers anyway, but you couldn't there. Got to Heathrow and I was like, ooh.
Exactly.
Not June giving me too cold for shorts, boy. So yeah.
Yeah,
and,
but no, my week was all right. Was it eventful? Started recording for my other podcast.
Buddy?
Yeah. That's about it, really. I've really been building in rest time. So, because I upped my workout schedule, right? So not only do I go gym, but I run as well. I started running in March, on and off. And then I was like, no, you actually need to build it into your schedule if you want it to be...
have a result, yeah.
Not even result. If you want to be consistent and if you want the most success in terms of making it part of your lifestyle, then you're going to have to build it into your routine officially. So I did that. So last week and this week, I've actually stuck to my schedule with the built-in rest days and rest times and stuff. And I also took the TV out of my bedroom.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
That's a power move, boy.
I said, you know what? Enough is enough because it makes me lazy. Like, when the TV's in my room, I don't watch it, but it's on all the time. When I'm in my room, it's like autopilot. I just put the TV on.
Yeah.
And it's just there, background noise. I'll be scrolling through my phone. I'll be doing other things and the TV is
Sounds
right
like my
there.
wife.
In the nighttime, I'm not going to lie, I keep the TV on. And I've gotten used to falling asleep to the TV.
To the TV? Nah.
Yeah. So it's been like that now for a while. And I had my TV mounted up. So I had like a shelf put up and stuff and had the TV mounted on there. I took it down. I said enough is enough because I miss like having quiet time and not feeling like the TV has to be on. And I don't think I have the discipline to just not turn it on.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've taken it out of my room. My living room has my big 50-something inch TV in there. If I want to watch something, I have to take my fat derriere, I was going to say something else, to the living room to watch TV. Because when it's on in my room, I'll have it on and then I'll jump into bed and it's just there. And it makes me stay in bed.
And then you're not even watching the TV, you're on your phone doing Like I said, I've seen.
And
this
then I
before. I've
realized
seen
that
this
I
movie
can't
before.
concentrate when I'm watching TV. I can't concentrate anymore because I'm so used to having it on and doing something else. And then I end up staying in my bed a lot more than I normally would because the TV is anchoring me to my bedroom and my bed when I could just walk a few steps to the living room. So not having the TV in my room has been fantastic. I've been reading a lot more. My bed, actually sleep in it. I don't stay up till mad late. Like 10, I'm out like a lamp. Light, yeah, I'm out like a light at 10 rather than procrastinating on sleep because my brain is still tuning in till gone midnight. It's been fantastic. So that's been my week, really. Just
Good.
really trying to
regulate certain things.
regulate my body correctly because it wasn't sustainable before. And I'm still hitting the gym the same number of times I was before. I'm still getting my 3 runs in a week. Still going to the office a couple of days a week. Still managed to edit the podcast last week. Still everything I needed to do without feeling rushed, without feeling like, oh my God, bedtime. Haven't got enough time in the day. No, I've got enough time. I wasn't managing it properly. So that's been it for me. There's been no sunshine, but I'm feeling bright, you know?
Hey, well, we can only give thanks to that, boy.
We only can.
Feeling bright.
That's right.
That's the one.
That's the
That's
one.
the message. Feeling bright. Good.
Yeah. So,
Well, we there.
do you want to say hi to the peeps?
Yeah. Hello and welcome, people. Welcome back to the Unpicked Podcast. We there in the building. You got your boy, Senor Venom, alongside my home slice, the one and only.
Senorita Dabby to the Zane, or Dammy Zane. Or
There you
whatever.
go. We're the Unpicked Podcast. We do this. We chat about the social things. We chat about the black things. We chat about the pressing issues, the social issues, the buzz issues, whatever it may be. We do that.
There's a song on Thames' album. Have you listened to it yet?
I haven't yet. It wouldn't download. I was trying to get it for the flight. It weren't downloading.
There's a song on there. I can't remember the name of it. So I'm going to save that for next week. I'm going to put, I think it's called Head High by Doja Cat. It is
Don't
called
know
Head
it by
High.
name.
It is Head High by Doja Cat. That's what I'm going to put on.
Head High by Doja Cat, officially added. And from me, it's going to be All Right from Victoria Monet.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
Kate Trinada released his album. Have you heard that?
Who?
Kate Trinada,
No, I haven't.
the guy that
No, I haven't-
so the
I
guy
haven't
that
listened to
produced
it.
that song for her, he released his, I think his third album,
Yeah.
might be second, but I think his third album, just same day or whatever as
Yeah.
Thames. So I listened to his, and I love his vibe, but nothing on his album beat that song for me. So I was like, I wanted to put something from his album, but I was like, I'll put that.
Okay.
I want to shout him out, but I had to shout him out with that song because that song still.
Through Victoria Monet. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So that's what we got with. The only thing I saw was that Ken did like a speech at a graduation for Compton College.
Okay. You mean Kendrick?
And it was, yeah.
K-Dot. Okay.
K-Dot. And he, it was just a nice uplifting speech kind of thing. But he's definitely going to be performing as well on June 19th, on Juneteenth, for like a show called Pop Out and Friends or something.
Okay.
Which is a play on one of the lyrics. I was like, oh, okay. So that's going to be, so that was his first appearance since the battle. And this is
Okay.
going to be his first performance since the battle.
The show must go on. You know?
Show must go on.
Yeah, man.
And Drake also took down all of his stuff from Instagram.
What stuff?
His battles, his stuff about Ken, like all the battle
Oh, really?
clips and
You should've
he
left it
removed
out.
it all. Yeah, he took the L. He said, "Nah, it never happened."
That's fair enough. You know, I ride for him anyway. Nothing can make me hate Drake. Sorry.
No, I expect
I
not,
ride
boy.
with him till the end. I just
That's
love
my
that.
man. I'ma stick
I'm
beside
gonna
him.
stick beside him. That's my man. I do love him. I don't know why, but I just do. So, I've seen a few things this week, yeah. Nothing nothing that's like, let's just laugh about it. That's what's annoying me, because, guys, the whole point of Have You Seen is for Venom and I to banter about the stuff that's been happening over the last week in between recordings. And lately, everything I've been seeing, for the most part, haven't been stuff that you can really laugh about. They've all been like serious, and it's kind of irritating me, because it's like, wow, like, I miss the days when we used to laugh. Do you know what I mean? I miss the days when we used to have jokes.
There was ridiculous stuff that used to happen, though.
Like, ridiculous. I heard that Nikki Minaj is going for a divorce.
Okay, so I saw the post, but I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't see an update on what it meant. It just said yes, single, and people were speculating, is that music or is it relationship?
So I don't know if she did the video, or I think she did a live and someone recorded it. She was crying about it. Did you see that? So apparently it's real. Like, she cried in the live, and apparently she cried on stage during a performance as well.
Damn.
About the breakdown of this marriage.
Relationship. Oh yeah, it's a marriage, yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, it happened to Cardi first. Now it's happening to...
Cardi's thing was turbulent from the beginning. Like, there weren't a day that relationship was stable. But she had her fun. They had fun. But
so I guess we'll get to find out. Not that I'm saying that is banter worthy.
No. It's just what you've seen.
It's just what you've seen. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's just what you've seen. I hear that. I hear that.
I also saw a clip. I know it's sad. But
do you know why? It's a techie one as well, because he's like a registered sex offender or something.
Yeah, she was riding for him hard, didn't it? She was really doing, I'm going to step beside him.
Yeah.
It's my man. That's what she...
Tricky.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Sticky still.
What I'm about to say, please, no offense, because it's not about you personally.
No, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Safe space and all that. But I was thinking the other day, do marriages last anymore? And in my opinion, they don't. And I used to have absolutely no doubt, like, that I want to be married, that I want to be a wife. I was going so hard for it that I used to say things like, I know that I'm destined to be a wife. I'm destined to be a wife and a mother. The mother one, I'm not gonna lie, I've been questioning for a couple of years now, because I've tasted selfish lifestyle, and I don't know if I can relinquish that for bebes, right? Cool, put that to the side. But I never ever doubted that I want to be a wife one day. And I always lived life thinking, once I'm married, I don't care about everyone else, but once I'm married, it's literally death that's gonna end that marriage. We ain't getting a divorce. Does not exist. I don't know what that is. It's not my portion. Ain't happening for me. End of story. Yeah. But I'm looking at marriages within our generation, and I'm not gonna lie. It's making me think. Yes, I would want to be a wife, but I'm not gonna lie. It's making me doubt the whole lifetime thing, like wife for the rest of... Do you know what I mean? Like, once we're locked in, that's it. Now I've got a bit more of a... I mean, each year we're going to have to be like, it's a blessing, because it looks...
Damn.
Yeah. Like, damn, we made it another year. Thank God.
Wow.
Let's hope and pray for the next one. And then the more I think about that, even, the more I'm like, do I even want to open myself up for that sort of heartbreak? Because I've had a love of my life before, and I've been in a relationship where I was like, this is it for me. Like, all eggs in. Do you know what I mean? In that one basket. I thought this was it. I was in love. This is like the love of my life. This is it, right? And I've been through heartbreak. Even though I left that relationship, it still ripped me apart, right? It took me a long time to get over that. And then I think, that's not even marriage. So given what I know that marriage doesn't really last these days, do I really want to get married knowing that there's a big chance I'm going to have to deal with heartbreak like that again. Maybe even worse, because there might be children involved. We'd have to sever our assets and stuff. Venom, I don't know, man.
I mean,
it's risky business.
Everything's risky business. If you don't do things because of what could happen on the negative side, there's no point doing anything. Is all I can tell you. Because there's literally a negative waiting around the corner to anything positive you can do.
Yeah.
And the better the reward can be, the better the bigger the downfall can be.
Yeah.
So if that's going to be the viewpoint, then no, it's not worth getting into it because the losses can be massive. It's just like buying a house. You could buy a mansion. It could be, it can be a mansion, but you can also miss the payments and lose a mansion.
I just don't know if I could go through that pain again.
I mean, you got to have more faith in the God that you serve. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I mean...
That's all I can tell you.
Having faith in God doesn't mean that I'm going to blindly believe that if I got into a marriage, it would it would stand the test of time.
It's not about it standing the test of time. It's about believing that he has, or he, or she, or they, or them, or it, however you refer to God, that God has your best intentions at heart.
And
at all
God
times.
Definitely has my best intentions at heart. And it could be that heartbreak that is used
to do something else. But
I don't know I don't know. Because he took me through...
So that's what I was saying. You saying you don't know if what God has intended for you...
He took me through the wilderness before when it comes to matters of the heart, yeah.
That was for something else.
And let me tell you something. It was treacherous. It was volatile. There was moments when I didn't think I would make it. Okay?
But here you are today.
And here I am today, living, breathing.
Big smile on your face.
Listen, happy about life. Cool, great. I don't know if I can do that journey again.
It will never be the same. Even if, you could, I mean...
Obviously, I have God with... Obviously, I know that I've got God's on my side. So no matter what, I'll get through whatever comes to me. But life be lifing, innit? Just because I have faith in God doesn't mean that life don't life. Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear you, boy. I'm living proof. I'm living proof. It's not easy out there.
It's not.
But at the end of the day, if you want certain rewards, you have to take certain journeys.
See, this is the thing. This is where I've been thinking about it. Yeah, that, you know what? Maybe for me, just having a partner is enough. I don't know. But this is fear talking, obviously. This is me being completely honest and vulnerable with you guys, right? Welcome to the Unpicked podcast. But part of me is like, well, I mean, if it's just a cohabitating thing or just long-term partner, no, I do till death do us part. Then at least then I could be like, well, we don't have to sever a marriage. Do you know what I mean? That contract, we don't have to go through all of that. It could just be see ya, and we just part our ways, and I just lick my wounds like that. The concept of marriage is such a big deal for me that I don't know about. If it gets ruined and then I have to sever the marriage, I think that will just... I'm done out here. I don't know. But all of that came from the concept, or more the reality that we see these days, that marriages don't seem to be standing the test of time. It doesn't look like that anyway.
I know some people that are going through it, for real. Where's my water gone? Oh, sorry, I put it down here. I know some people who are going through it. And it's definitely not easy. And they've shown me that, yeah, man, there's ups and there's downs. And, but again, it's just part of life. Like,
I know.
The journey that they've been on, the things that they have as a consequence of their marriage before the breakdown, they wouldn't have had. They wouldn't have had these experiences. And like, I'm trying to say as much as I can and not say anything.
Of course, I get that, yeah.
And like...
but you've said enough, I get it. The experiences and the things that they've accumulated and everything whilst they were they wouldn't have had that.
So they got to celebrate those things like 100% whilst they had them, not knowing that this day would come where things would be questioned. And I think I would give everything I had to do it again, to have the joys that I have before you have the, you know what I mean?
I agree with you on that. It took me, like, this is how I know that I'm 100% healed from that long-term relationship. Because I could be, like, for example, I was reading a book. Obviously, I'm back in my reading now. I'm reading this book currently, and it's about this couple that divorced, and then they realize they're still very much in love, like, that's my person type thing. And just reading, like, it's the way it's written from both points of view.
Oh, so you get insight from both of them.
So you get insight from both of them. It's not just written from one person's point of view, right? And just even some of the way they describe each other's feelings for each other and you know, things like that. Obviously, like, little memories pop up, like, and this can happen even in normal day-to-day life. I might hear a song I've not heard for a long time, and maybe it might be the first time I heard it was with ex-bae or something like that. So, like, little memories, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, like, feeling like that, like, just stuff like that. And then I smile, and I'm like, oh, that was good times, man. And that's it. Move on.
Yeah.
It's not, oh man, it's so painful, I miss that. No, it's just, oh, that's so cute. I remember that. I remember feeling like that. It's like that. So I wouldn't take it away. Whereas if you'd asked me maybe a year after the breakup, I would have been like, I wish I never met them, actually.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have to deal with this pain that I'm dealing with, that I'm carrying. So now 100% hear that. It's just the journey that I'm talking about. That you see that journey through that wilderness?
Yep.
I don't know, you know, because then it means I'm potentially willingly putting myself through that. I guess what I'm saying is I've had to kill the fairy tale belief that once I'm married, that's it, because there's a chance that it won't be. So I'm at that point where I'm like, oh.
I mean, just have to look around you and see how many elders, whether they be family or friends of the family or just work colleagues or whatever, how many single women they are that were married or have kids. There's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know? So. And
whilst my parents are still together and they're living their best life, obviously I have insight into their marriage. There's things in their marriage I wouldn't want. To be real. But I'm also very much aware that they're a different generation to us and different culture as well. So it's not the same. Whereas when I just look at, that's why I said in our generation, I feel like marriage just doesn't hold the same weight, even how we view it. Because at least when you look at our older generation, they valued marriage. Marriage was a big deal for them. They understood what marriage was. They might have jumped into it too young. Or
I also think it was my granny's generation, not my parents, you know? I feel like I really see the decline. I think it's because your parents are actually married. No, in my family...
Yeah, go on.
I can only think of my one... Well, I kind of had two. One on each side, uncle and aunt that were married. And then all the other stable relationships that I actually think of are their parents' generation. And then when I look outside of my family, it's the same as well.
I'm not saying stable. I'm saying how they view marriage. So, like,
well, I mean so marriage, married.
Yeah, no, yeah. So what I'm saying is, for me in my family, all of my uncles and aunties got married. Whether they divorced or not, they got married. They understood the value. They understood that, or this is how they saw it, that you get to a point in your life where you have to get married. You date to marry, you find your person, you get married, you have kids, you start a family. We don't have that in our generation. We don't think like that in our generation. I think some of us romanticize it and, you know, the real lovers want that. And then there's a big proportion of us that are like, nah, I just want to have fun. I'm not really trying to... Marriage don't work anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying our generation think like more don't understand the value of marriage or even... aspire to be married, whereas I think the generations before us, it was a known thing. Go get education, then get married. Especially in certain cultures, that's what it was. That's why even like, I can speak for like in Yoruba culture, even all my aunties that are separated from their partners, their husbands, and they were single parents, when they have their kids, they still expect their kids to go get an education and get married. Because that's what's expected of you. That's what you do. Whereas for us, we're like, actually, like, like I met someone recently, he's in his 40s. He's not anywhere near looking to...
making that happen.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, we don't have that in terms of how we see the trajectory of our lives. It's not all of us that see it as, get education, find my person, and...
You know what? It's funny you say that, because where does the idea of marriage come from, at least for a guy? I think it comes from the father.
Yeah.
Like my mum's always wanted me to find someone and be happy. That's my mum. Mm-hmm. My dad has always been like, bring me a wife home.
Okay.
From the beginning. And he's met 60%, maybe 40% of my girlfriends. Because sometimes I dated girls and I was like, you ain't me and my dad. There's no point. No point. We're having a good time, but if you meet my dad, we'll break up because he's gonna give me the airful. Like, I already know what this is. Like,
and I know that because I bet your dad.
You know what? You met my dad and you ain't even seen the levels.
But from what I saw, and from, like, obviously we spoke in it. So from what I saw and heard, I said, I know what kind of pops you have. So
my dad keeps it 100.
More than 100, if it was possible.
Yeah, literally. And so it's just, yeah.
I don't know. Marriage in my family, in my house, both my parents talk about marriage a lot. In fact, I think if I was just left with fairy tales and observing the world, I probably wouldn't want marriage. I probably would have come to that conclusion a lot younger.
Yeah.
But my parents
same.
drilled it into me that, this is what you do. You go get education, then you start working. Soon after, where's the husband? In fact, I remember my 20th birthday. I was in uni, second year. Second year going on third year when I turned 20. And I remember that phone call. Prior to that, it was stay away from boys. Typical African rhetoric, right? 20th birthday. Where's your boyfriend? I said, yesterday, you told me to face my books. I turned 20 and telling me where's my boyfriend. Did you think he was going to mysteriously come out the sky? Or worse, did you think that I was going to be keeping a boyfriend, hiding it from you? You know? You're like, no, you need to start from now because, when we were in our early 20s, we got married. My mom was 23 when she got married and had me. So she's like, well, I mean, you've got 3 years before I met your dad at your age. When I was 20, I met your dad. So where's your boyfriend? My dad was saying the same thing. Since my 20th birthday till now, I hear about, that's all I hear. We pray that God will give you your own husband. We pray every time. It's just what it is. So they've drilled it into us, both me, my sister, and my brother. It's been drilled into us. The only thing is, I would say, and I say this to my parents all the time, I feel like they equip the girls more than they equip the boys for marriage in our culture. They just tell the boys to go and know how to make money. That's it. They don't really teach them how to be a husband, in my opinion. Which gets them annoyed sometimes, but as the eldest daughter, I tell the truth. Show no problem if you get offended. So I think it's my parents that kind of got me feeling like I must get married, I must have kids, because that's what we're supposed to do. It's not till I got into my 30s that I started looking at the world and looking at people around me and being privy to too much information, which allowed me to, do you know what I mean? Because there is such thing as knowing too much. And when you know too much, it can, do you know what I'm saying? So like...
Yeah, it just shapes your whole opinion. You don't believe at certain things.
Because like with kids, I used to be like, oh yeah, I want to have kids, The more I saw people around me having children and got to know too much, the more I was like, I don't know if I can do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the other way around. Like, I don't see the I see the problems of kids that they present in the many facets. I work with young people and they're not even the kids. There's different problems at different stages, you know?
It's not the kids, it's what is required of the mother. Now I know what is required as the mum, because the whole carrying the child if you're blessed to giving birth to the child, whether that's C-section or natural.
Yeah.
The breastfeeding up at night, because Bay can help, but he can't help. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So now I know
it's not actually his responsibility. It's either he takes part or he doesn't take part.
No. It is his responsibility, but there's certain things he physically can't do. So, for example, let's say, it is his responsibility because he can still feed the child, whether he has boobs, because she can pump. Or if the child doesn't take Or if the child doesn't take to it, they can give baby formula.
The pumping is like a solution that's created, but as a man-made solution to the problem. The mother feeds the baby.
The man is responsible. I'm not going to have that on here. The man is responsible for taking care.
It doesn't matter what you have. It's the truth of it.
I'm just letting... No, the truth of it is both parents are responsible for the care of the child from birth, yeah?
Yeah, the care.
The only thing is... Exactly, which is what I'm talking about. So, the only thing is, there's certain things he... Like, a man can't actually breastfeed because he hasn't got lactating breasts. That's the only thing he can't do. Everything else he can, and he should.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So that's that on that. But what I'm saying is, now that I know what is required of the mom in terms of like what it takes from her physically, emotionally, mentally, and let's say she had a baby with a man that has that perception that he doesn't have to do anything, then it means she's lumbered with that job herself, right? And then she's going to be asking her man to help when he should just know to help, that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't know if I've got time to be teaching a man how to be a father and to also be a mother to a baby at the same time. That's a lot. So there's things like that that's had me thinking. A man needs to
learn how to be a father as well. If he's not a father...
It's not my responsibility to teach him, though. It's not my responsibility to teach a man that he's supposed to help with the babies. He should know that we made this child together. What do you mean? I need to ask you to change the nappy. Can't you just, I'm carrying the baby's pooped. Let me go change it. No, baby's pooped. Here you go. And then I've got to be asking him, no, do you mind changing it while I go make the... No, I'm not doing any of that. He should know. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's about having healthy systems in place.
This is why I personally just feel like it's risky business for women, because we still have men that think like that, oh no, it's not really my responsibility. It's wild to me. That's probably one of the scariest things for me. That I end up with someone who thinks like that, and then I have to be mollycoddling him to help me look after a child that we both made. After the fact that I've just carried your big-headed baby for 9 months plus, giving birth to the baby, and then I've got to teach you to help me with the... I don't know if Venom. When I really think about it, it actually upsets me. And it's like, I don't know
systems.
It's
about systems.
I don't know
because the reality is, if your relationship is one that's so traditional and so divided that this man provide, then how can he be helping to a certain extent? Like there's obviously
no such thing as provide anymore, because women work as well now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe the woman doesn't work. I mean, when you have a baby,
we're not talking about the woman. We're talking about me. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
but when you have a baby, you're not going to be working
for my maternity
immediately.
Leave. For my maternity leave, no. But I will still be bringing money in because I'm on mat leave. So all that I'm providing, babes, I'm providing too. So what are you saying now? What are you saying now? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's not traditional like back in the day where women would actually stay at home and she would not be bringing in any revenue at all. Then, babes, you're telling me you're provided. I'm like, okay, cool, you're provided, because you are. Because I'm not doing nothing. Diddly squat. I ain't bringing no bacon. I ain't helping to pay towards this mortgage. But you can't be telling me it's traditional. It can never be traditional anymore unless you actually subscribe to those traditional roles whereby I literally stay at home and do nothing but rear your kids and look after your house and bring no money in, and you 100% bring the money in, then you can tell me we're traditional. But babes,
but the difference between what you said and back in the day is that you're being paid whilst on maternity versus previously not being paid. Like
previously you weren't working at all. Previously women didn't have jobs. Their job was
but if you're not being paid when you're on mat leave and you didn't have a job before you had a baby, what is the difference at that point?
What woman isn't working?
So I'm saying if there's a woman, I'm comparing a woman from back in the day versus a woman now. Is what I'm saying. As in a woman who wasn't working,
she wasn't
and then
providing
has a baby,
anything. She wasn't providing anything financially. Is the difference?
Yeah, but I'm saying once she's had the baby, what's the difference between her and a woman that's on mat leave now, other than the fact that the employer is sending her money?
You're talking about the tasks. But you said if you subscribe to actual traditional roles, I'm saying that's impossible. If I'm able to put money down from my mat leave pay, we're not subscribing to traditional roles, babe. Clearly, because I've been working. That's why we're able to use my mat leave money to contribute to the mortgage that you say you're providing. It's not traditional, is it? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, whilst I'm at home, I'm doing stuff at home. I'm looking after this newborn baby and trying to, especially first child, trying to figure out how to be a mum for the first time. Cool, great. But based on what you said, which is if you subscribe to the traditional roles, well, clearly we don't, because I've been working all this time. The moment I became your wife, if you said to me, you're my wife now, quit your job, 100%, I am the provider now, you don't work, then I hear it. But if I'm bringing money to the table as well, you can't sit there and tell me we're subscribing to traditional roles, because we're not, because I'm working, babes. So this is not traditional at all, is it? That's the point I'm making. But in that mat leave time, of course, I'll be at home. We can share paternity leave. You'll probably some companies get up to 8 weeks. Like at my place, you get up to 8 weeks.
What, men?
Yeah, of the paternity, they get 8 weeks. Like my colleague, his wife just recently had a baby. Second one, and he took 1 month at the time she had the baby, and he's about to take another one. So that's 8 weeks in total that he gets. At my workplace, different places are different. Different companies give different mat leaves.
Yeah, the standard is 2.
Because at my previous job, the one just before this one, they gave women 1 month maternity leave, full pay. After that, it's statutory, which is peanuts in this economy.
I don't know what the law is with regard. I thought you had to do more than that, but all right.
1 month. And then the company I was at before that, it was 6 months full pay, 6 months half. So it depends on where you work and stuff like that, you know, and it depends on public and private as well. So public, you get way more, private, you get way less, right? So all of that factors in. But just going back to my fears of being a mum, I think the risk is way greater actually than getting married, because you don't know. Like first the risk implications it has on women is crazy. It's literally life and death. Carrying the child and having the child is life and death. And after you've had the baby, it doesn't stop, because your body changes. So some women have lost their teeth, lost their eyesight. Like it's more than gaining weight, losing weight, and hormonal changes. It physically changes your body, and there's no way to determine how it's going to do that. Right? There's that. So that's a risk. Then you might have a man who's saying all these lovely things, has all these great ideologies before you have the child. Then the child comes along and it's just you, and you're a single parent in a marriage.
Yeah.
And that's what scared, all of that scares the hell out of me, because I don't know. It's not something you can give back. You can't be like, I've had the baby and the situation isn't working out. I want my old body back, please. I want my own old brain back, please. You can't do that. So, like I said, you can know too much, and that's what scares. Like, do you know what I mean? I know too much. I've seen too much, and it's made me think. I don't know.
Well, there's a handful of women that I've seen who have had bad experiences, and none of them had such a bad experience that they didn't want what they had gotten, as in the final result of that child once they experienced. Yeah,
that's lovely. That's lovely. I can love kids from afar. I can love kids from afar, because I do know women that, of course, they naturally naturally they love their child, but they'll admit that they wish they didn't do it. There's loads of women of women that are like, I love my child, but if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it. I also know women that had one and said they'll never ever do it again.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you hear too much about it, and again, and this could be conspiracy theory. It could be that they want women to not want to have kids because we're seeing a decline in women having kids anyway. The population is declining, right? In certain parts of the world, there's been I should have pulled up the numbers, but they've done studies and they've looked at like birth rates 10 years ago versus birth rates now, birth rates 20 years ago. It's dropped by quite a lot, right? So there's this worry that what's the population going to look like in years to come if women now are not really having kids? When you go on places like TikTok and every other day you're getting women come out with their birthing stories or their stories of what it's like to be a mom and how they wouldn't advise girls think about it. It's not got good press right now, innit? So conspiracy theory, it could be that that's what they want, that they want people to not, or they want certain women not to have kids. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of different reasons why you would incentivize women to not have kids in certain places of the world. There's a lot of different reasons. So yeah, once it could be conspiracy theory, but even in conspiracy theory terms, the amount of different things you could theorize, plentiful. Yeah, you could go down the route of not necessarily east. Well, yeah, it's kind of east versus west. You could go down that route where I guess the Americas and the UK, the Western world, is what I would say appears to be suffering from this lack of commitment, not wanting to marry, not wanting to have kids crisis.
Where does China and Korea and all that sit then? Aren't they? Are they?
That's what I was gonna say.
Are they Western?
Is China have a massive? No, they're east.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have a massive population that potentially is still growing.
No, because China's one of the countries where they've had a huge decline. And in Korea, women are refusing to marry the men. It's a whole movement.
Well, not Korea. Korea, I can't talk about. Well, Korea's not part of what I'm thinking anyway. But in terms of what I'm thinking,
I think in Japan and China, they're on the list of. They've got the biggest
declining population.
Yeah. And remember, is China where they had the one-child policy, right?
Yeah. And they killed a lot of daughters.
And they're trying to reverse it. They're trying to reverse it now. They're trying to reverse it now because they don't have enough people having kids.
But for example, for the same reason, if TikTok is a Chinese company, right? Yeah, so if you think about it from the standpoint of them literally being at odds with the West, namely America, them and Russia, the main issue between the two factions is going to be soldiers. Because Russia has more nuclear warheads than the US. So after you've dropped bombs, or you're sending man-dem to fight, whatever it may be, whoever's got the most man-dem essentially would win.
Okay, I see.
Because you can't shoot nukes at each other.
Go with this. Whereas in America, they're trying to make people have kids because they want to take away.
Because they need to have more soldiers. You can't fight wars without people. And when you think of the policies that Rishi Sunak is invoking about and trying to not invoke. About, if we're re-elected, this, blah, blah, this would be the policy with regards to 18-year-olds and fighting. It's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
And Russia just declaring America as an actual, it's not a coincidence. These things take time. War's expensive. You have to start budgeting.
I love that whole, outward thinking, and I'm hearing it, and I agree with you. But as for me, Dami Zayn, just me, when it comes to babies, I've really been thinking about it. And for me, I'm thinking of two things. Am I actually capable? Not in terms of fertility. It's the labour, carrying the child, delivering the child, then the labour after the fact that doesn't end ever. And then it's am I capable? And then it's the risk. Because I don't want to have a kid for a man, and this man disappoints me. Venom. And there's plenty men out there that are crap. Crap fathers. And are incapable. Yes.
You have a child right now, and the child won't get any older.
Which child?
Right now.
Who?
His name is Oluwatobi.
Oluwatobi.
And this child is finished growing for the rest of his life. He's
But
just
he's still a
going to be
toddler.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're not struggling.
You told you that? No, I'm joking.
And if Oluwatobi actually happened to be human, you'll be offered a lot more support.
That's true.
You'll be afforded
Yeah,
a
but
lot more
With
support.
Toby, I didn't have to carry that dog, right? I didn't have to cook him in my belly. I didn't have to deliver
Yeah.
him. None of that. Yeah. So obviously I love the dog, but there's been times
You'll be
when
offered a lot.
there's been times
more
where I've
support.
been like, you know what? I don't even want this dog no more. Then I look at him, I'm like, oh, he's cute. Oh, I love you so much. I can't do that to you, and I can't do that to myself. So I understand.
Even if you had a whatless father of a man who up and left immediately, even the government will help you look after Oluwatobi if he was a human boy.
I'm telling you this.
Then you have all the
I wouldn't want
relatives,
to put my child
all
in
the
system.
friends.
You
You can't have a baby shower for a dog. You have a baby shower for the kid.
I don't really like that
People
kind
will
of
be
stuff.
supported. No, but what I'm saying is,
I know what you're trying to
people
say.
will be loving to support you.
But I think it's
and the
easy
more
for
you need
to
the
say
support, the
'cause
more
you're
they will give.
It's easy for you to say because you're a man. Men don't have. Sorry, it has to be said, but you don't have. I spoke about labour, and obviously the word in itself, the labour of like actually giving birth. But you don't have to deal with growing the baby, bringing the baby into the world. That's
God's plan. God's plan. Hey, who am I to now be telling the creator who should be doing this?
I'm not telling the creator who should be doing anything. What I'm saying is, it's easy for you to see the beauty in it, and only the beauty in it, other than being able to financially provide. It's easy for you to only see that because that's what men have been told, and a lot of men believe is the only thing they need to think about. Everything else is not on you like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So
God's plan. Wow. Because he took his time, you know.
This is
he
why I
made
love
man
my dad.
first.
This is the reason why
he made man first.
This
and
is
he
why
said, you know what?
Yeah,
this one
I
is
hear
the
it.
powerful one.
Yeah,
This is the one I will actually look at the man and revise everything I've done there to make even better. Bow. She will be so powerful, she can even make another man. Hey, that one. I didn't do that. I didn't decide that.
All that niceties and trying to.
I didn't decide that.
Boost the woman up. That's not gonna work with me.
I'm
But
just showing you.
This is why I love my dad
On
so
God.
much. This is why I love my dad so much because whilst he's a traditional man, he was still very hands on. He was still very much. We both do this together.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. All I'm saying is basically I've come to a conclusion. Just to wrap this up, the only man I will marry is a man that has those types of considerations in that, yeah, babe, if we have a baby, yeah, you're going to do the majority of the labour, but when that child gets here, it's 50-50. That's the only way. And the only way that I'm going to believe him when he says it is based on how he treats me before we even have kids. That's the only kind of man that I can marry and have kids for.
I think most lover boys would say that and believe that, and it be true. I don't think anything changes that other than the relationship between the man and the woman at a later point in time. I don't think anyone's like... There are some men that are just waste man and just want to have kids, just want to breed up someone. They exist, but I don't think that's the majority of men in real relationships.
That's the scary thing.
There's a breakdown in relationship that then creates
but that's the scary thing. The breakdown in relationship shouldn't stop you from being a good father. Shouldn't stop you from being a father. Not even good father.
Of course not.
50-50 in care is bare minimum. You're not doing anything weird and wonderful or above expectation. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I agree. But I also can't imagine what it would be like to be in a predicament where I have a child in an environment where the main person in that environment has a lot of hate for me or negative energy for me. But obviously consistently. I know someone who is a single father, co-parents. Him and the mum are not cool, but they co-parent fantastically, and he is there 100% for his child. He don't play. He don't play. play with the care of that child. Do you know what I mean? He's dead. Like, and I'm not talking only has the child once in a blue moon or whatever. He's got that. Listen, his whole life is centered around the child. He's very much like, just because I don't get on with the mom doesn't mean that my child should suffer. So there's men that think like that, and I would like to think that there's more than just the one that the one.
But remember the baby mums that doesn't like him has to still facilitate that as well, because not to say that it's her child, but in a way she gets the final say on that. Obviously,
it's obviously I agree with that, but he, even without saying too much, even when she was being difficult, he made it very clear. Like, he did what needed to be done for him to have his
child.
Yeah. He said, we're not letting our breakdown get in the way of this child having a mother and a father. And if you're going to do that, then there's other things that we might have to do. Do you know what I'm saying? To get it done right. And I respect him for that, because I know quite a few baby dads, and there's some that had a baby that had the first one years ago. The second one is 6 months old, and they relocated to another country and didn't bother to look back. Do you know what I'm saying? Because all they think about is themselves. They don't think about the kids, because they're so removed from them. So, but all I'm saying is when I look at our generation and look at how people talk about these things, it's a scary world we live in. There's a lot of men that just don't. And that's what's scaring me. Can't imagine. And this is why I I don't want to say rate. No, I respect single mums hugely, because for you to go through carrying a baby and childbirth, and then you have to do the after bit all by yourself because of whatever reason, hats off to you. Hats off to you. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy job.
And I've been so careful in my dating life to ensure that I'm not in that predicament. Because I just... No. Even the littlest of scares, I thought my life was over. I was like, oh my God, this could be it. And then that told me all I needed to know, that you shouldn't be with this guy. If you're scared, this is not the guy. Like, you shouldn't be with them, because you're petrified, Danny. That tells you something, and your body doesn't lie. So
you got to listen to the warnings.
Trust me.
You got to listen to the warnings.
Whew. Anyway, the last have you seen from me, because I want to get it in there. Dr. Uma's been talking again. So Venom's not going to be around next week, but don't worry, we're not disappearing. We're going to have a little something for you. It won't be a full-blown episode, but it'll be a conversation that might make you giggle, because, we talk about quite a few things in there. So there will be a little something for you next week, until we're back to give you a full-blown episode. So until then, I've been Dami Zayn, alongside my co-host, Venom. We are the Unpicked Podcast. Until next time, peace.